Katie. How are you?
Good, and you?
It's raining purple.
It is. We are all purple. Diamond Ladies Classic done in the books.
Yeah, we're post Diamond Ladies Classic. We're all in a
We
little bit of recovery, I think.
a little bit. We've been talking about it for months and months. It's finally happened. Now we get to bask in all the glory of it.
Yeah, it was a fabulous weekend.
So we have a fantastic co-host tonight who's going to be joining us for the whole show. Um, or should we bring her right in?
Yeah, I think we introduce.
All right. So joining us as co-host tonight, we have Miss Stacy.
Hi, girls.
How's it going?
It's getting better.
It's getting better. You're done. You can relax.
It's exhausting, but worth every single second, that's for sure. It was long hours, but totally worth it.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about how the weekend went, like numbers, let us know what happened.
All right. We have some good numbers, some outrageous ones, but I think we'll talk about like the ones that came from out of town. So we had three bowlers from Manitoba, eight from British Columbia, six from Saskatchewan, one from Ontario, one from Newfoundland. And then we had, what was our number? I think 23 from Alberta, but not Calgary. So we did the math, but math's not my forte, but 78% of the bowlers that came this weekend were from out of town. So it was way more than I think we expected, that's for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, it was good. It was
Just
surprising when we had to make that last minute call on Thursday night, early Friday, but to drop to 16, the top 16 instead of the 32. But I think we made the right call and it worked out. And we ended up with 73 scratch entries and 27 POA entries anyway. So it was a
it's wild.
super success.
Yeah. And there was lots of support kind of coming from all over the country when you think about people who are coming, but I have the live stream numbers as well. So the finals, as of yesterday morning, there was 1,275 views on the final Sunday live stream. And then in total for the week as of yesterday morning, 3,650 views.
Amazing.
So
Amazing. We did
that
that.
is, yeah,
Crazy.
That's a lot of live streams.
That's
it
great.
is. Yeah.
And it's a
And when
lot
you
of
think,
interest.
we were talking about it behind the scenes here, and you were like, yeah, but everybody was at the bowling alley. So, who was
We were all
watching it?
there.
But there was lots of people who had interest and were just wanting to know what was going on and seeing how it was going. So, it's
We did
exciting
have a
that there
really
was.
crowd. I thought that the support there was really neat. The environment of the whole place was so positive. It was I've never really been in an environment like that. Everything was just so there was like no tension. We were just there like supporting and having like a good weekend, a great competitive weekend.
Yeah.
That I don't think any one of us, and us three for sure, I think the three of us have talked about it. I don't think any one of us kind of knew what to expect having a female only event. And for me personally, was far more competitive than what I actually could have thought.
Right.
I mean, I agree. I First of all, I want to start like the vibe. Like, I didn't get there until before the doubles, but the doubles event vibe was just incredible. People were happy, they were enjoying themselves. Um, just like the attention to detail, Stacy, that you put into the bowling alley, and yeah, just like the little things, right? The champagne for the ladies. I thought was really, really neat. When you walked in, there just was everybody was hugging. And then just to talk about like the competitive part, it was not easy to make that cut. Like it just felt very like high level, but also very encouraging, where you had people who were helping you along the way, who were supportive. Um, and obviously there's some reflection in that, right? Like, I still walked away disappointed, even though I did great,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I think it's important to talk about that, because the reflection is there were people who should have, made the cut, who are at the level where they should make the cut, and they're sitting back, but they're there Sunday and they're watching. They're like, I'm disappointed in myself, but there's this reflection thing that goes on to say, like, I'll be back and I'll continue to keep working on my game and the development of my game and all of that. Like, many people haven't really thrown a ball since, if you don't make Open Nationals or Masters Nationals, you're really not playing in anything. Your last event might have been the Green and Gold, and if it wasn't for that, then it's maybe like the tail end of a spring league, or the end of a qualifying thing for a Masters, which is the kind of last running event for the majority of us. So many are not throwing balls. They're not in the groove, right? Outside of, those Open players or people who are getting ready for Masters. So I felt like it was a really, really, really high level, Stacey. So thank you.
It was, yeah, I mean, I can only go off the experience we had when we ran the Ottawa Open, right? Like 15 years ago. And sometimes the cut was like 1940, right? And, we had like maybe 160 entries and it was mixed, right? But like, this is 73 entries with women and the cut was 1987.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's, I think I wanted it to be that high. I thought Toppler is scoring really well this year, but I just thought, like, what can we prove to ourselves, right? What can we put together? And so I kind of went back and looked at your guys' master scores this year and over the past couple of years at Toppler too, right? Just to see. And I thought on the high side, like the high would be 1950. So it was over what I thought, but that was just the level of competitiveness that was there. Right.
And you had a fantastic weekend, personally bowling. Like, you averaged 260, shot 2087 to qualify 7th overall. I know Sunday wasn't exactly what you were hoping for, but like, how was it playing and organizing, kind of wearing both shirts?
I think I don't really know what happened on Friday, you guys. I haven't played 8 games for probably, like, other than qualifying for the Open the past couple of years, but like for an 8-game block, I haven't done that for a long time personally. Let alone done it at Toppler while I'm running an event. But I really just channeled Mark Miller. I'm not going to lie. I was like, he always makes it. He always makes it. And he runs the tournament. You can do it too. And, it just kind of happened. And it was not difficult for what I would say. I will say, for those of you who are out there who watch the podcast, I have been working very closely with Desiree, and it has definitely changed some of the more negative things I felt like, right? So that part is working. And then Sunday, I haven't been in that situation for a long time, wasn't sure how to really kind of focus while running it. Thank you, Katie, because you ran it. But personally, I don't like the live stream, and I had to play on the live stream back-to-back sides. And then I think playing Brittany was more difficult because she's one of my best friends, and so it was kind of hard to like get in that focus too. But on top of the whole thing, it was pretty silent in the bowling alley. Like, we were all pretty dialed in. So it wasn't the result, but I made a cut, and that's what we set this up for.
Right.
We set this up for the women to get this level of experience. So those of us that made the 16s, I think 10 of us had never made a cut before. And that's what the goal was to give another level of experience and to have, like, a little notch under your belt that, you could go to the next event, right? So with that, in that mind, like, it worked for us.
Stacey, just quickly before maybe we head to our tournament sponsors, but I really want to just talk about some of the payouts and maybe the silent auction.
Perfect. So we did a little silent auction. I think we had about 8 different items from Sport Check and Sobeys and Great West Kenworth, and we made $750. That's going to go to the Canadian Cancer Society as soon as this podcast is over. This is mind-blowing for me. And I hope everybody can understand the capacity of this. We had 73 entries on the scratch side, and we handed out $19,610. I have threw in a little extra 10 to get us there, but Jennifer Smith, who won it, she won over $4,000, and Alyssa, who came in second, won over $2,600. And little tiny Maddie, who ran both sides for a very long time, won over 2,200. So, I mean, that's just what we put together with 73 entries. It was incredible. But again, because of our sponsors
Yeah.
who really threw themselves into this with me. In the POA, we paid out, there's 27 entries, and we paid out over $5,000. So Carol Billick, who won, she won $1,375. And Brittany, who made both sides, actually, she came second in the POA and won $1,060. And then funny that Michelle Beatty qualified twice in the POA and she won $1,350. So the money was, I think, for me looking at it, astronomical,
Mm-hmm.
right?
It was really good.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
yeah. It was,
And like you said, all could not have been possible without sponsors. So
That's
like
right.
aside
Yeah.
from Fab Five and all of their organization, aside from Five Pin Universe donating the live stream, there was lots of other sponsors we can just go through really quickly.
we had Glencoe Janitorial Services, Matt and Lori Chapman, who actually came down and made sandwiches for everybody on Saturday and got to view in the bowling. So it was extra special. High Performance Coating, that's an oil and gas company or oil and gas paint company that Rich Weber works for. Tim Shifley, his wife Loretta Shifley, played in our POA division. Quality Trophies did those amazing trophies for us. Oh, that would be my dad, Toppler Bowl.
And then we had the two main sponsors.
Rhonda McDougall and Venom Industrial Inc. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
And Brittany Johnson with Body Things. Amazing, amazing, and just wonderful.
Amazing. So we could probably bring in Rhonda and Brittany. We have them here ready to chat with us a little bit. And we'll see what they have to say. How's it going, ladies?
Good. How are you guys?
Very good.
Good. So we have fantastic Brittany and Rhonda here, who were some of the title sponsors for the event. Both of you had fantastic tournaments as well. We're just going to give like a little recap of your events, just because not only were you two of the major sponsors, but you also played in the event. You played really well in the event. So Brittany, you qualified 10th overall with a 2048. And on the A side, you ended up winning against Stacy in the first round, and then were taken out by Maddie in our second round. And on the B side, you won against Julia Robko, and then lost to Alyssa Campbell, who started running that B side.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rhonda, you had a 1989 to get that 15th spot. And your Sunday, kind of like Stacy's, not quite what you were hoping for. A side, Heidi Mapstone took you out, and then B side, Alyssa Campbell in the first round. But still fantastic showings from both of you.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes.
you.
So let's talk a little bit about a sponsorship, because it is a big key, and you guys are basically our key title sponsors. But maybe just a little bit from each of you, like what made you want to donate to a women's event, and why is it important to you?
I think for me, Stace came to me months ago. Myself and another owner of Body Things, where we are females and we have almost all female staff as well. So I think it was important to kind of highlight that part and aspect. And I thought the whole idea of the event was amazing, to get more women out there and bowling and playing and competing again.
Right.
Yeah.
And for me, I've been doing a lot of sponsorship through our Masters and the Open and things like that. And my favorite color is purple. So when you guys started putting this together, I meant to speak to Stacy well in advance, and I think the timing just worked out for us, because Stacy was having a rough day and going through a lot of things, and then I said, "Hey, I want a sponsor," and she was just like, "Oh my God, you just made my day," and so it was right timing for me to reach out and say I want to do this. And I just started playing the cash tournaments last year. Calgary, or the Autumn Open was my very first one outside of the province. So I'm just starting to get my feet wet, but I've always wanted to do something to empower women and help women just excel and be better. And what more than having a women's event that can, like, I had so many people say, I think I'm going to play the Autumn Open. I'm going to think I'm going to do this. I'm going to do more because of the event that we had. And like, that's just very cool.
It's a great segue, Rhonda. Like, so first time that you've actually made a cut outside of your province was the Diamond Ladies Classic, which is phenomenal. Brittany, it's your first time making a cut, right? In a major thing, so that's a really big deal. And to come to play and to play the way that you both did, I think is remarkable. It also enables other people who, you know, are still reaching for the stars to go, oh my goodness, like, I want to be a part of it. That's how I always feel. Like, at the end of the day, Rhonda, you knew you had to pick a chop off to make the cut, and you did it, and then you were able to wake up in your purple flip-flops on Sunday morning, and you bring your purple backpack to the event on Sunday. Yeah, right. So I think it's like, you know, if you've played these events, and I know, Brittany, you've watched a lot of events, you've actually went to a lot of the WCBT events, and Rhonda, you've come this year as well. But how was this? Did this feel different? How was it different, and what did you enjoy most about the event?
I mean, I haven't even played like a main event WCBT thing for probably 10 years, to be honest. I always play like the doubles and Bakers and stuff like that, just because I honestly haven't played much of anything lately. But I think obviously I want to support Stace and Toppler. So I thought, well, I'll come in and do it. And I really surprised myself and haven't played like that for a really, really long time. But it definitely, I think, has given me the motivation to probably try something again outside of the ladies now.
Great.
Right.
Yeah.
For me, women are just more kind-hearted, and I felt like we just fully supported each other and we're cheering each other on. Like, I was two-handed high-fiving the girls that I was playing with in just our 8, and just took it all in. It was just amazing to see the numbers. Even, you know, we had some people not able to make it at last minute, and I know Stace was concerned about that, but we still got great numbers for the event, and I did 3 tries to get in there and got there, but but it was just it's just different. It's just different because it's I think women are really good at supporting each other, and just a little, like I said, a little more soft-hearted, kind-hearted, the mother figures, right? And so I'm 54 and I'm just starting to play cash tournaments, and I have no plans on stopping, right? So, like, if I can do it, bring, like, all you young ones got to get out there and do it too, right? So,
so that
sorry, Katie, I think that's
okay.
perfect. That's a perfect thing, like, in terms of advice for all that were there, or all that were watching, or all that have, like, interest in joining us for next year. Like, what advice would you give those ladies?
Come in and experience it, because if you don't, you'll always wonder, what am I missing, right? Like, you just like Brittany, for her, like, I was just so stoked to see her just pumped up like that and coming off the lane. It was so awesome. And people that have never played anything in the POA side, I was kind of a little bit, oh, okay, that's different, when I first heard about it. And then I was like, oh my God, like, it just lit the fire of these gals, and they made it on both sides. Like, they scratch and POA, like look what happens, right? And it just you embrace it, and you just, it's, how can you not just excel in that environment?
Yeah. That's awesome. All right. I think, are we ready? Anything else we want to ask these lovely ladies?
Unless they've got anything else to add. Yeah.
I
Just
want to say thank you.
Yeah.
From the bottom of my heart, thank you girls so much. Thank you so much. And that day, like, when I first asked Brittany, it was pretty, you know, phenomenal, and I didn't really even know how to ask her. It was just like, I'm just gonna ask. But when Rhonda messaged me that day, I just got back from YBC Nationals, I think, or it was just before, and Rhonda saw that, and I was like, oh my God, like mind blowing, right? So thank you so much, because we just wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, for sure.
Oh, you're welcome. And
Yeah.
for just the last thing for me, I came home and I got a hold of my graphic designer. I'm making a purple Venom logo for next year, and I'm helping to. I'm working with Mark to design jackets too. So
That's awesome.
yeah, just
That's so
I
good
was
to hear that you'll be back
psyched.
next year.
Absolutely.
And also, you know, we'll see you guys on the Cash Tour and trying out for different things. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Rhonda
thank
and
you.
Brittany. Yeah, it's great.
Thanks, guys. And we'll talk to you soon.
You bet.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.
Amazing. All right. So, with kind of carrying on with our sponsors, our next guest we have is part of our fantastic Fab Five. Let's bring her in and then we can get talking about that.
Oh no.
Oh no. Wait 1 second.
Oh no. I promise
try
you,
again.
as we're sorting this out, she sounded amazing. No, no, no.
Okay, we're gonna kick her out for a minute. Shauna,
This is the best.
we're gonna kick her out and we'll have her come back in, hopefully in just a second.
I promise you, everyone who's watching, she sounded amazing at
We were-
6:55. So
we were
something
complimenting
happened.
we were complimenting how good her Wi-Fi was, how clear her picture was,
Oh.
and then little snafu there. I'm hoping she'll just like come pop back right in. But maybe while we're waiting for her, if one of you wants to kind of just quickly touch on Fab Five.
Sure, Stacey, want to take the lead?
Sure. While we're waiting, I mean, Shauna is one of our members. Tracy is another member. Myself, Karen Armstrong, and Maria Wood, and we came together a couple years ago
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
during a season starting podcast, I believe, with the WCBT and the 5P Universe.
Can you guys hear me?
Yay!
Oh, so much
Oh.
better.
No, it's not good.
Kerflunkle?
There.
Okay,
Don't
try
move.
again.
Do not move.
Okay, I'm not moving.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah.
Hi.
I think I adjusted something on the back end. It should be okay now.
Okay, it just keeps saying touch for sound and then it disappears. So
You're good.
I'm not touching nothing.
Don't touch anything. You're good now.
Okay. Hi.
Hi, how
Hello.
are you?
I'm good. Again, I apologize profusely.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
So, Shauna, I just finished announcing who the Fab Five members are,
Perfect. Thank you.
and then I'm going to go over a little bit about what you did this weekend.
Okay.
So, you qualified 6th overall with a 2097 and an average of 262. I don't even know how this draw happened, but Katie was with me and Charlotte drew it. And on the A and the B side, you drew Karen Armstrong, your bestie, with your matching shirts and your
My roommate.
yeah. So on the A side, Karen won that one, and then you came and won her on the B side, and then you played Heidi and won, and Anne Marie Peterson and won, and then you lost to Alyssa Campbell.
That's right. I sure wish I had had a little bit of a break after Annette, because I was certainly on a huge high, right? And I just needed a come down period, and started right in the match with Alyssa, and things just kind of fell apart for me there. So I wasn't quite the same person.
That match with Anne Marie, then was that was a tight one?
Well, I'd won my first one, and then I believe she had come on strong that one, and I ended the game with a 5-bagger to beat her, and she needed to get a double and got the first one and then missed the middle or second shot and 11 there, and
It was really
that
close.
was it. So And but throwing the five bagger at the end, when the whole day I was internally combusting, right? Like I'd set up my shot, look down my ball to my target, and that ball was bobbing like a fish on line, ladies, I tell ya. Right? Like,
Yeah.
and somehow, some way, I kind of breathed through it, and it worked for a few matches anyway.
Bold, beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you,
it
my
was
friend.
really, really, really nice. I know you've taken a bit of a break from the game, and it did not go unnoticed that you have been working very, very hard. You and I know you like from almost the day we were born, and you bowled beautifully.
Thank you, Tracy. That really, really means a lot, my girl.
Hmm.
Yes, this year, I mentally fell apart this year. Everything about bowling for the last 3 years has been super, super methodical. And you know what? I've just come to the conclusion: breathe, set your feet, breathe, drive the line, and throw the damn ball. It's that simple. It's what's
Yeah.
here that makes it hard, right?
It's true. I think it's really timely advice, honestly, because I think the majority of players, they all go through that.
Right.
We see it all the time on Facebook. Alyssa, I'm really proud of Alyssa because she often will show how she's feeling after an event.
Right.
And I think it's important for us as women to like hear that and understand that you can't ride the bus all the time and
No.
be the greatest, but you definitely can have moments of greatness and moments of reflection. And I think what it does show is it shows, do I still have the desire? Do I still have, the passion? Do I want to strive to be amongst the best? Right?
That's right.
And I think that's really important to talk about that.
The example being is I had the privilege of bowling with Denise Howie on my Saturday shift. And these women are amazing POA. Their attitudes are just incredible, and their desire to get better is even more phenomenal than my desire and passion to play almost. And do you know that every ball I threw on Saturday, between my deep breaths and telling myself to drive the line, and the girls were just howling at me, was every ball I'm like, be a good example, be a good example, be a good example. And I don't know why that was so important to me, but I just knew that had I internally combusted or did something really wrong out there on the lanes that day, it could be the difference between maybe these women wanting to come back and maybe not,
I think
So-
you're right. I think the events showed, listen, often, for me personally, I can get very serious.
Oh, for sure,
And
me too.
for me, when I'm trying to think about competing at a really high level, I get quiet and I internalize stuff and I don't enjoy the noise around me, let's just say, when you're trying to advance. It's different if you're on a team, you're set on a team, then it's an outpour of energy. But this event reminded you that you could have fun.
Right. And still be great out there,
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and it's a learning thing for me again this year with everything that I've gone through mentally. I think fun didn't exist in bowling for me anymore, right? I knew what I wanted, and I tried so damn hard to get what I wanted. I just forgot that having the fun would get me there alone, and the basics would get me there alone, instead of placing the ball for 3.5 years. It was awful,
Yeah, for sure.
right?
Amazing. One last question.
Okay.
Thank you for coming on the podcast and having better Wi-Fi.
Thank you.
Now-
Elon is the savior.
Yes, it's amazing. But a couple questions.
Okay.
The Fab Five has so kind of been a component of the sport, and I just want you to maybe just lend some insight why the Fab Five came together, and maybe some of the things that group of women has done, and what's the future vision for Fab Five?
Okay, well, Fab Five was created to get more and more of her involved in the WCBT events, right? We were trying to promote that anybody could compete against these wonderful, darling gentlemen that we bowl with, right? And for the year, I think we struggled. We got our message across. It was sort of the same in that year that we created it. It was sort of the same, still the same women that were there. But if we were to take what we've done in that year and move it into this year, we've got a new committee within Fab Five, Stacy and her Diamond Classic ladies, that created this entity for her to bowl. And if I'm correct, the qualifiers in the WCBT, we had 3. We didn't have 2 like we did the last time. We had 3. So in my world, that's a win-win, right? More ladies. We need to compete against these boys. We can do it. We're just as capable.
We do have a team member on in our Fab Five that is a huge advocate of youth bowling, and I think it's important because like she always reminds us like how are we going to empower and enrich like the next generation of our youth bowlers, and so we think about that often. But do you have any insight or thoughts around on that? You're very involved in youth bowling as well.
Well, absolutely. I've been coaching youth bowling for 25 years. I've had the pleasure of coaching some national teams now. And you know what? These kids are strong and they're confident coming out of YBC. I don't know what we're feeding them or what we're coaching them, but they come out and they are hungry, ladies. Like, especially the ladies. Look at little Madison. Strong, confident, competing both sides, like can run ladders. It's amazing.
It's awesome.
I think we're gonna see bright futures of the future of her.
Perfect.
I agree.
That's what we want.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like, look at your daughter, Stacy, right?
Yeah.
I look up to that kid more than I can tell you. And
Me
she's
too.
right.
Yeah.
Stellar bowler. Stellar.
Yeah, she pushes us for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to be that great?
Yeah, exactly. Shauna, thank you so much. Congratulations again. Thank you for being part of Fab Five and helping us empower her and keep being you, girl.
Hey, the one funny fact for us, Shauna, 4 out of 5 of us, we made the cut.
Yes. How stellar, and our sponsors to boot, right?
Yes.
Yes. So
Amazing.
lots of good showing out there. And every woman that played of the 100 entries, you all represented the Diamond Classic ladies, I tell you. Well done. Beautiful. And Stacy, bravo, my friend.
Thank you.
Katie, holy schmoly lady. You're a crazy nut. I love you, T.
I love you too. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks,
All right.
Shauna.
Bye, guys. So much love. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.
Amazing.
A little of a rough start to the beginning of hers, but it ended awesome.
Little Donald Duck voice there for a few minutes.
A
But
little alien over there, but that's okay. We got her going. And we can move right on into our next one. She kind of alluded to our next guest. Miss Madison.
hi.
Hi, Maddie.
How's it going?
I'm good.
So-
How are you guys?
Is this
Good.
more nerve-wracking being on the podcast? Everybody's solely focused on you, Maddie, than it was you running both sides.
Yeah, for sure.
She told me in the car on the way home, she's like, I don't want to be on the podcast. I'm like, you don't have a choice. Sorry. So we'll go kind of into your Sunday and your tournament because it was incredible. So, you were the youngest player in the field of 16, which is such an incredible accomplishment. You were the person who went the farthest on both sides. So you qualified 9th overall with a 2056. On side A, you started out with a win against Anne-Marie by 2 points. Then you won against Brittany, won against Jessie Bailey by 1 point, and then you lost to Jen Smith. And then on the B side, you won against Christine Poxa, you won against Carol, and then you lost to Alyssa. And I'm pretty sure at least one of those also came down to like the 10th frame or the very end. She was given heart attacks left, right, and center. But you had a fantastic Sunday. So can you tell us a little, like, what were you focusing on? How were you kind of just like keeping your mental game on point on Sunday? Because you were playing more games than anyone out there.
At the beginning, I was really nervous. So I just tried to keep calm, and then I just distracted myself with like talking to people because that helped me. And yeah, that was keep my mind clear from everything.
Yeah, that's fair. So you say that you were nervous. A lot of people, even Shauna, said that you like came out and you were confident. People, I was there watching all day Sunday and looking at you, you didn't look nervous on the lane. So like, how were you keeping that confidence, especially when some of these games are coming down to like the last frame or the last couple balls? You know you have to throw a big shot. What were you kind of thinking in those moments?
If I'm being honest, I didn't watch my opponent's bowl. So I never knew when it came down to the last ball. I kind of just thought that every shot was the same and I just executed them the same so that I didn't know when it came down. If you guys all saw Jesse Bailey's match, I picked up my ball after winning by 1 and I didn't know that I won.
Fair. Yeah. That's awesome.
Well, Madison,
So-
you didn't look like that. I think
Yeah,
that's
it-
like a big kind of thing for that. Maybe some of the legends that have made the cut for you to come out and for you to feel like that. But you certainly looked very confident out there. You didn't look like what you think you look like.
Thank you.
So when
Maddie,
you went,
Maddie, when you talk about maybe playing, like you had such this clear mindset, it just seems really simple for you, or it was simple on the weekend. But you played some big players on the weekend, and so would love to know your thoughts around that. I mean, you played a Hall of Famer at the end, which is incredible. You know, Alyssa's coming into her own. Jessie is just a fierce woman on the lanes. Like I could just go on and on about who you played, but like, did you ever feel a little overwhelmed around who you were playing, or it was just out of sight, out of mind?
It was definitely nerve-wracking, like the final playing against Jen, because I will say I watched like the TSN Pins game, and then watching her bowl and then bowl against her was an amazing experience and one that I'll definitely remember for a long time. But like I kind of just tried not to think about it, but it was definitely nerve-wracking.
I mean, coaching by Des, is that helping? Because that seems
Yeah,
like a
it definitely
Des 101 to me.
Yeah, she helped a
That's
lot
awesome.
during the open.
I'm sure, yeah.
so what would be something that you would take away from this weekend, or like a lesson you learned, or something that you can like keep moving forward with?
Definitely from my qualifying shift. After I threw the 177, I felt a little down about it, but definitely to not count yourself out after one game. Just keep moving on until the last ball's thrown because you never know what could happen.
Yeah.
And then also, I would take away how amazing the support system was everywhere. It was really nice. A nice environment.
Yeah.
You sound well beyond your years.
Really, really. I mean, so Maddie, you had like your YBC gold medal this year. Congratulations. And your Open Nationals gold medal. Congratulations. And you just had a massive success at the Diamond Ladies. So what's next for you?
I'm gonna plan is to try and play more tour events and then play Masters hopefully next season and just kind of live in the moment still for bowling. Just keep living in the moment.
You're going to have a lot of moments.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I'm not a crier, and I cried on Sunday when she was done bowling. And like,
Oh,
it was like one singular tear, but that was like more than anything. So proud of how you played on Sunday.
Thank you.
great weekend. Great weekend.
Congratulations, Maddie.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you for having
we
me on
will-
and thank you for all the support.
Of
course.
course.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming on today, and we will talk to you soon.
Bye.
She's so cute. Oh my God.
She is. Yeah. She is so funny. Okay, we get to get into some of our winners now.
Let's do it.
It's exciting. So we are going to first bring out our POA winner.
Welcome. Woohoo. Are you at a league or like an event?
Well, there is a league going on, but I'm practicing with my master's team because we leave for Newfoundland in a week, and I haven't had a chance to practice with them because I've been bowling all over Western Canada for the last 3 weeks.
Well, thank you for joining us.
That was
Carol,
such like an exciting entry.
Who says these podcasts are no fun? Oh my goodness. Well, welcome. And you're probably riding a little bit of a high. You had one of the best events you've ever had. You were the third scratch overall qualifier with a 2150, which I believe is like your highest 8-game scratch total. So
Absolutely.
Congratulations. I had the pleasure of playing you, and it was amazing. On the A side, you played Crystal Hibner. I don't know why I'm talking louder. Like, I feel like I'm talking louder. Sorry. But you won against Crystal. It was 707 to 688. And then you played me on the A side, and you lost that match. And then you went to the B side, and you played Stacy, and you won that. And then you went and played Maddie, and you lost that. So you had a really good run. Tell us about how you felt about the weekend.
It was incredible. I didn't know what to expect. I only sort of went into it because Karen Armstrong said, yeah, you should do this. And I thought, I'm going to be out west anyway because I was visiting my brother in BC for his 60th birthday. So the Calgary trip was on the way home. So I thought, yeah, why not? I'll stick around a couple extra days, try this out. There's a POA side. I like POA. I've done well in it. I thought it's more competition, getting ready for Masters in Newfoundland. So it all just sort of lined up, and I thought, sure, why not? Why don't I try it? And then it was a blast. I had a lot of fun. I think some people were having fun laughing at me when I said, yeah, I'm going to bowl again on Saturday. And they're like, why? You did so well in that first shift. I'm like, but I want to bowl. I don't like taking a day off, and I should bowl. And Bill Brooks, actually, I came in with my bowling shirt on to support Karen and Shauna when they wore their Manitoba Open shirts. And he looked at me and he said, why are you wearing a bowling shirt? I said, because I'm supporting Karen and Shauna. He says, you're not bowling, are you? No, sir. I'm not bowling, I promise. So, yeah, it was just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so that kind of goes into the next part. Like, you qualified in the very first shift on Friday afternoon, and then in not your style, had to sit in a bowling alley all day on Saturday without throwing a ball. So how did you get yourself ready knowing that you were going to be playing on Sunday? Like, mentally, were you going through anything in your head on Saturday? Were you just kind of trying to stay calm, stay out of it? Like,
yeah, I was definitely trying to stay calm and breathe and say, you know what, like, it'll be what it'll be. I kept telling myself, there's been times during the season where you bowled a lot and you're starting to struggle. You took a day off to rest, and then you came back and just killed it. And I thought, I'm going to take that attitude that this was my day of rest, and now I'm just going to come back and throw the best ball I can when I can. I mean, I looked at the draw and saw that I was playing Crystal in the first round on the A side, and I thought, she just killed our team in the Open, and we bowled fantastic, and what am I doing bowling against her kind of thing. And the first game was a bit of a struggle for me, but I fought through it. The second game I came back and I felt good, and then we were pretty much tied up going into that third game, and I thought, I actually have a chance. I'm just going to try to throw my ball, not look at what she's doing, and just concentrate on my shot, my one ball, my one time. I tell myself that. Not sure I do it, but I try to tell myself that. So yeah, it was fun, and then I was just having a blast on the Sunday. It was great to play, right? So yeah.
You're headed into, obviously you're at a practice right now for Newfoundland.
Yeah.
How are you preparing for that event, Carol?
Again, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm throwing as much as I can, which is something that I like to do. I feel bad that I haven't had a chance to practice much with my team, but I know most of them quite well. So I'm just trying to get myself into that headspace of, again, I just got to try to throw stay in the moment of that one ball, one time, and just try to throw the best ball I can. So I'll try to practice as much as I can this next little bit, and we'll see what we can do. So
Now, do we have you hooked now for future WCBT events or
Yeah.
the next Diamond Ladies Classic event?
Well, definitely the next Diamond Ladies Classic event. We're already talking about all the people who we're going to be bringing with us next year. Simone Shepherd, who Stacy hooked me up with for the doubles, we'd never met before Friday. As a matter of fact, about 5 minutes before the game, we were both looking around going like, who's this person we're supposed to be bowling with? And we finally said to each other, like, are you Simone? Are you Carol? And it was like, oh, good. That's who I'm bowling with. Anyway,
Awesome.
so Simone and I are already planning that Simone's going to come to Manitoba for the Manitoba Open. We're going to be on a Baker's team together. I'm going to find a couple other people. We might throw a shift. And then I'm going to go to Regina Classic for sure, and we'll do the same thing again. So from the Diamond Ladies Classic, I've met someone I never met before, and now we're going to start bowling together in doubles and partners and stuff. So
I want to cry.
Me too.
sorry,
I have
Tracy.
goosebumps. I have goosebumps so bad. Oh my God.
That's awesome. That is an awesome story, and so happy that you could connect with Simone. That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, and when I was watching on Saturday, Simone was one of the people I was trying to cheer on. I was trying to run back and forth between Alyssa and Karen and Shauna and Simone. And then on Sunday, Simone and her mom came out to support me, and they were behind me cheering during a couple of my games. So like it was fantastic, right? But I think that's what you were hoping for, Stacey, and it worked, right? It was perfect. So thank you for all you did.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good luck in Newfoundland. And we can't
Thank
wait
you
to
very
see
much.
you at the next event.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for having me on the show. I love listening to your podcast. I've
Thank
gotten
you.
lots out of Coach's Corner, too, so
Yes,
keep that
we
one
all
going.
have.
She'll be back
Awesome.
next month.
Awesome.
She will.
Good. Awesome.
Thanks
Okay,
so
thanks a
much,
lot.
Carol.
Thank you,
Okay.
Carol.
Bye,
Have
Carol.
a nice night. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, Fab Five.
Top 5 member.
She's on the podcast, or she's on her league. I'm
That's
on.
awesome.
So,
All right.
great.
Bye, Carol.
Okay. Bye.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye. That's
Oh,
Carol.
I just got some energy. Like, it's just, wow.
That is
Love
Carol,
her.
like through and through. From when I first
Yeah.
met her on Friday to actually she was practicing on Thursday. I know you guys can't believe that, but she was
Right.
practicing Thursday night. So
Wow.
I met her Thursday night.
I don't know Carol very well, but from what I've gathered of what people have told me and what I've gathered from her Facebook, now that we're Facebook friends, she spends a lot of time practicing at like whatever bowling alley she can get into. She is there throwing balls and just working on her game. So
She has already signed up for next year's Diamond Lady. She was the first person. As soon as it was over, she came to the counter and she said, "You're going to hate me for this, and people think I'm annoying, but I would like to sign up for next year."
That's awesome,
that's
Stace.
so good.
It was cute.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep rolling on here and bring in our scratch event winner. Jen Smith.
Hello.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, how are ya?
Good. Your sound is loud.
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
That's
I got
okay.
it.
Just adjust you quickly.
There we go. Should be good now.
Perfect.
You
Are
think?
you all caught up?
Sorry?
You all caught up?
No,
No.
not even close. I did manage to get some time in the office today, so that was a good thing.
Excellent.
Good.
I'm going to do a little introduction, but I'm first going to say that you don't really need an introduction, number one. But when I tell people that I own Toppler Bowl and then Jen's playing a tournament, I say, but Jen really owns the league. And I've said that for a long time. And after this weekend, I think that came out loud and clear. So we qualified 16th by 1 pin. In 1987, it had everybody on there. Between you and Rhonda
Dramatic.
Michaela, everybody was on the edge of their seats. Side A, you played Alyssa first and won. Then you played Heidi Mapstone and won. Then you played Tracy Smith versus Smith. which was a hard match to
It was
be
hard to
watched
watch.
from. And then you played Madison Jenkins to take you into the final, and on the B side, you played Jessie Bailey and lost right away.
I did. And you know what? Do you know what, Stace? I'm just trying to digest it all, honestly, because this year it's been a very tough year on the lanes. I probably put in the most work I've ever done for my game to have very little success. Just mentally, I wasn't there. I felt a lot of times I was going through the motions, and I could come out and work on the game and be relaxed and execute good shots, but when I had to have good shots, they weren't there. So, which is not me at all. Usually, if I need to bear down, I can bear down and find ways to get through it. But this year, I just didn't have it in me. So I took the diamond ladies and I decided whatever's meant to be will be. And my God, what a roller coaster ride of emotions it was for me. To come back from many matches after one game, I was down 100, to being up 50 after two, like that. What a lot of my matches were. It was that way against Alyssa. I was down after the first game. Heidi had me by 120 after the first game. Maddie had me by 110. Like, it just, normally, like the way this year's gone, it would have been like, okay, well, there's always next year. But I don't know, I had it in me to bear down and execute good shots, which was a really nice way to finish the year it's been.
I think you look stronger throughout the day. Like, I think if anybody could go back and rewatch your matches, I think that you actually, like, your ball throwing and your consistency actually got better the more matches you played, which is, you know, not typical by you, but you did it. You played absolutely wonderful, right? Like,
From someone who was watching all day on Saturday or on Sunday, like you could just see your intensity building throughout the matches as you went through round after round. It was just, you could just see that intensity growing with every single shot in every single game.
Do you know what? I felt it. That match, my second game against Heidi, when I finally got that triple, I just felt a big focus change and drive change. Like, I don't know, something had just come over me. Like, I was like, oh my God, it's go time. And I said, it's a feeling I've not had since Masters Nationals last year. So
Jen, do you think that's because, like, you lost immediately your first match on the B side, right? So, like, I know how you tick. So you had one lifeline. And I'm wondering if that one lifeline was the thing that did it for you as you started to kind of get in on the A side, because you definitely started to pick up momentum. And I'm wondering, had you maybe advanced on the B side, it would be interesting to see what happened, because you started to gain quick momentum on the A side. And I'm wondering if it's because you knew you had only the one lifeline.
that probably is the reality. Is, you know, like, going up both sides is always nice, but you always want to stay alive somehow. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what it was. I just had this mental shift. Like, I could feel it. I could feel the determination, like, in my soul. Like, I haven't had that burn in my belly all year. So
yeah, the look in your eyes was there. It hasn't been there for a long time. Your sister just texted me that and said it was the look in Jennifer's eyes, but it definitely was. You definitely looked like, I'm not gonna age anybody, but like maybe early 2000s Jennifer.
Well, you know what? Like, I will say, like, I know that you were disciplined in your game this year and that you took a lot of time out. You went practicing with Maddie quite a bit. Like, you did a lot of that. And I know you know, you're probably a little hard on yourself because you've been so successful for decades, right? For decades. It's interesting to me because last year, coming out of Masters, you had one of your best events all time.
Yeah.
There is this, you've gone through highs in the sports where you've won national titles, you've won national team titles, like all of that. So honestly, Jen, it's okay to feel tired,
Yeah.
right? And right, not be so hard on yourself. And it's so wonderful that even though maybe you didn't achieve some of the things that you hoped to this year, that you ended the season with such a gratifying experience, and something like this platform, the Diamond Ladies Classic, actually ignited something inside of you. And not only that, it ignited something for others too as they start to watch. We talk about the build-up, right? That maybe you weren't at your best in the beginning of Sunday, but you slowly started to get there, right? And that's teachable moments, right, for people who are even watching, even something in terms of reflection, in terms of how you felt as you go approach what's next for you, right?
Right.
In the future years, because obviously it showed like you still have the desire.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So we
It's
know
kind
you
of
have.
cool to watch. Mark and I sat together Sunday night and actually watched both sides of the finals. So it was kind of cool because same thing, same as like Maddie said, she wasn't paying attention to what was going on. I did. I got up in the lane. I focused on what I needed to do. I came back. I turned around and I focused on what I need to do, not what they were doing, what I need to get up and do.
You may have been running to the washroom quite a few times in the last like 3 matches, maybe, because I think we filled up your water bottle at the counter 12 times. But for me, you were superly focused on getting your steps in as well.
Hydration, Stacey.
Hydration.
Athlete.
So we know you've had like tons of success, Hall of Famer, Masters Nationals champion, countless medals. How does this tournament and this win kind of compare to some of the others? Where do you kind of put it with?
It's absolutely amazing, to be honest, because I thrive on playing the men. And you take for granted, like you play women in masters and stuff like that, and you take for granted that the talent that they actually carry. Like you just kind of, and to sit back and watch, like I said, Stacey and I talked about it, the cut, probably 1950. Would have not thought in a heartbeat at Toppler there would be 13 women over 2,000. And I text Stacey on the Saturday, and I was like, "Oh my God, would it be phenomenal to see a women's cut over 2,000?" And I didn't care if I was on the outside, but to see those scores posted was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And then to come out and execute on the Sunday, being at the bottom of the barrel and saying, okay, it's time
work my
to
way
play your game. Like, it's so nice to have a bunch of women together and succeed together.
Jen, you talked about thriving playing against men. This was a women's event. Did you feel that it was just as competitive?
I actually felt it was more intense, to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
because we wear everything on our sleeve. We carry it in our heart and our soul, and we just, we're there on the moment. And so many women were there to embrace that moment with all of us, and it was pretty cool.
That was. I agree. Tracy and I did talk about that this week too.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't think any of us knew what to expect making a 16s with only women, and it was quiet, and you knew everybody was busting their ass, and it was so competitive. I think that most of us women probably would have rather played a guy, because the expert we're just used to doing that when you're making a cut. This was so unheard of, so untouched, and like I agree with both of you. It was highly competitive.
Like, and your focus is different, right? Like,
Yeah.
not to take anything again, like, away from women, but the intensity is a lot different when you're playing against a guy. Like, but the desire is there more so when you're playing against the ladies, because a lot of them are your friends on and off the lanes. And that respect is there whether you're on the lane or off the lane. And it's different, right?
It is. All I know is, generally speaking, at a WCBT event, when there's like only a few women that make the cut, like you're always rooting for the women because one of us kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
It was really stressful on Sunday because like there was people on every single set, and I'm like, I can't just like cheer for, like I'm like running around, like bouncing around. It was terrible for me.
Yeah.
It was great, but it was like, I'm like, I don't know where to like focus my energy right now, and I was just all over the place. People were like, you're here and there, but it was just, you want to see everyone succeed. You want to see everyone do well, and like everybody was, you could just see it in the bowling alley, people supporting each other, and it was fantastic.
Just the energy in there, like, and
Yeah.
it was and genuine.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like it was so genuine. It was calming. It was, I don't know, a completely different event. I don't really have the words to say, but yeah, like just the aura in there was so different.
Different vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun. It was fun. It was
It
nice
was
to
fun.
be there and be
There was
relaxed.
there was a purple haze.
Yeah.
Just a cloud following everybody.
Yes. Anyways, beautiful. Well done.
Yeah. Congratulations again on your win.
Thank you.
So proud of you. Like so thank you.
Thank you, Stacy. Means a lot this year.
All right.
What's next?
We
Hey,
are
wait,
gonna-
what's next?
Oh,
Oh, what's next? That's a good question. A few soccer tournaments here and there. I don't know.
See you in September.
Yeah.
See what September brings. Yeah.
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 I don't know. Like as far as WCPT events go, it's tough. Like the Autumn Open is definitely an easy one for me because it's here, but it's hard. Like with the boys, and both boys being competitive, doing one thing or another, and one going one way, one going the other. It's
Hard to get
a big
anywhere else.
commitment.
Yeah.
So yeah, see what September brings. Masters for sure. That one's a no-brainer. But as for the rest of it, just kind of play it by ear.
See what happens. All right.
We're still working on her rethinking the Open. I'm just gonna
She's
throw
like,
it out
I
there.
don't know.
I'm gonna text your sister.
Text my yeah.
It's Grand
Well-
Prairie. It would be like a little vacation.
And last time you made a team, I was my first year, and it was in Grand Prairie.
Yeah.
And you played that year because
Oh.
I came to Calgary.
And that's where it's going back, isn't it? Next year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
The only thing is it's hard for me because Mark's away during nationals because he's in Vegas for Worlds. So
Yeah.
the Masters is kind of my time, and
We'll
then
work
May,
on her.
beginning of June is his. So
We'll just work on her.
yeah.
Yeah.
I need-
Well,
I need-
enjoy the summer.
I need a traveling nanny then, Tracy.
Sure. Like people get nannies all the time.
There's lots of up and coming youth that would love to babysit.
Yeah.
That's right.
For a legend.
A legend.
For a legend. They'd have great rates.
Oh dear.
Congratulations, Jen, on your
Thank
win,
you.
Diamond Ladies Classic. Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool.
All right. We'll talk to you later, Jen.
Yes, have fun at nationals, Katie.
Thanks. I will.
Enjoy every moment of it. The Masters is a very good time.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Talk to you
Bye.
soon.
Ladies.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. We got one more set of winners waiting in the background. I saw both of them have joined us, so we'll bring them in. Hey, ladies, how's it going?
Hello.
So Josie and Alyssa won the first ever Diamond Ladies Classic doubles on Friday night. Super exciting.
Yes.
Yes.
Also, before
I
we
was
get
so
in-
envious because of those glasses. Those glasses are just like so beautiful.
everybody
The
wanted
funny
the
thing
glasses.
is that they were posted on Facebook, and I tagged Josie in them, and I said, "Yeah, let's get these." And then we won, and I forgot that we were
We
also
both
getting
forgot.
the glasses.
And then my dad's like, "Oh,
yeah, like what you wanted was fine, but like those cups. And at the same time, I think it both clicked in our heads, like, oh my goodness, we actually won the cups. Yeah, it was funny.
That's awesome.
So
Maybe
before
maybe
we,
meant to be.
yeah,
Yeah,
you channeled it, you envisioned it.
exactly. Our end goal was there. We knew what we wanted.
So before we get to going through kind of your tournament, one other thing. Happy birthday, Alyssa.
Happy birthday,
Thank
Alyssa.
you.
Big
Thank you.
28.
Yeah. I don't know. Feels like just yesterday I turned 21. I don't know what happened.
It goes so fast. I get
I
it.
thought you were still 21.
Yes. Yes. Well, Stacy thinks I'm still 21.
Yeah.
She pulls me aside. I think it was a Sunday, and she said, "Yeah, last night, we were talking about all the up and comings," and I was like, "What do you mean up and coming, Stacy? I'm 28." She was like, "No, you're not."
Just take it. Take it.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm smiled and nod.
I'm an up and coming.
Yes.
So both of you played great this weekend. Josie, I know it wasn't quite exactly what you were hoping for coming out from Saskatchewan. High shift though of 1932. So like 50 points, not like a significant amount away. Not horrible at all. I get it. I was there. Totally get it. And then Alyssa, you ended up playing one shift. Didn't quite go how you were expecting. So you played the last shift on Saturday. Right, the last one? And ended up
Yeah, I
qualifying
double
first.
shifted on Saturday.
Yeah, qualified first overall with a 22:34. You ended up losing in the first round to Jennifer Smith on the A side, but then you ran the B side with a win against Rhonda, then a win against Brittany, then a win against Maddie, then a win against Shauna, and then ended up playing Jen again in the very finals of the tournament where you ended up coming short, but fantastic tournament.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
At the end of the day, I mean, I don't like losing once, never mind twice. But my track record in the finals, my win is coming. I feel it.
it's coming. It's coming. You've gotten so close so many times.
Yeah.
So speaking first, I guess, to doubles. So Friday night doubles, game 3, perfect game. That's incredible.
Yeah,
I think I was on the set with you guys. I think there was only one no tap strike.
There was
That was-
only
yeah,
one no tap.
that was Josie.
It was a little bit sketchy, but we took it. We took it
It was
in
a
hand.
little bit. Yeah, I remember that one. How was it playing together?
It was
Honestly, it was super fun. I've met Josie a handful of times. She's very lovely, but I don't think we've ever had the opportunity to actually ever play in close proximity or be partnered together or anything like that.
On
So
a team,
I wasn't really sure what that dynamic was going to look like. I mean, of course, as the drinks get flowing, you break the ice a little bit and things get good. But
Yeah.
I don't think that it was ever bad. I think I was just I needed that
something
little
new.
time frame to get to feel out how she plays and what she needs for support and things like that. So once we figured that out, we just kept the ball rolling. It really only took us half a game, I think, really to get there. But yeah, the 450 was super crazy. No tap.
Yeah. Oh, might have lost her for a minute, but Josie, how was it playing with Alyssa?
It was like she said, it was a different kind of vibe at first.
Can we hear me?
You're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, go
was-
ahead, Josie.
No, that's okay. I wasn't really sure what to expect either because, we've played the shift together, but we've never moved the same way. You'll go left and I'll go right. We won't be. Kind of thing. So I wasn't sure. But halfway through the first game, I think we both kind of opened up a little bit more. Yeah. That we were wanting. I don't think I just.
Just adjusting a mic here.
Struggling with
Okay.
them.
I only
Hearing
heard,
you a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
every
looking to
second
see if we
word
can
that
get
you
it.
said. Sorry. Okay. Are
It
we
was
good
great.
now?
Okay, it was great. Everything's good.
It was
Everything's
fun.
fine.
Okay, great. Yeah, I know like in the 450 game I was bowling in the 10th frame and I threw the first one and I got like so sweaty. I was like, this is no tap doubles. Like, it's okay. You just have to get it there. Why are you so nervous right now? Anyways, we ended up doing it. It was really great. And yeah, I had a lot of fun. But it is really different, like, when you play with someone, I guess, that you're not used to playing with, right? Like, you have to learn what they need and what it looks like to play with them. So that was a really different experience, but it was really good. We worked together as a team, and like every time one of us had an open frame or crap, like we paired it all together, and then all of our runs were together too, which was like the perfect team dynamic. So
Yeah.
Yeah, our
for sure.
5-6 wasn't too great, but I mean, we figured it out the next few frames. So
Fair. So you guys both have had like a huge amount of success within Open. Like you're both competitive players at the Open. Lots of WCBT cuts. You're two of the ladies who are consistently making WCBT cuts. How is this tournament different for you, or what were some things that you like take away from this one?
I think for me, the biggest difference was that, like, not that I don't want it in everything else, but like I wanted this one extra bad. And so, like, I guess like Masters and the Open and stuff, you do get to compete against the ladies, but like all the other WCBT events, it's all mixed stuff, right? So when you got a ladies tournament, I was like, yeah, I really want this. And I think even in my first shift, I was just like trying too hard, I think is what happened. And so trying to find that balance of, oh, can we still hear me?
Yeah.
we
Yes.
missed
Trying
like
to
the
find the
last
balance.
4 words.
Not worried about everybody else and just like focused on what I need to do. It was the same. But I guess like in this cash format, it was different. It was really awesome too to just see, so many other faces and like play against so many other women that like I haven't had the opportunity to play against because maybe they don't play the Open or Masters or whatever it is. So yeah, it was just like, it was awesome. It was different. And still just as competitive, like the scoring still, like from the ladies, was really, really great. So
Yeah. I know Stacy and I and my dad had like talked about it a bit on the Monday before we left. Saying how like in the finals you're expecting to run into those like big names who are men, right? Like the Adam Webbers, the Kylan, the Bradleys, people like that, Mitch Davies. But here at this tournament, you don't know what to expect out of some of these ladies, like Alyssa said, because they don't play those WCBT. I unfortunately didn't play Sunday, but I could only imagine some of the stress bowling up against people that you don't know who bowled. Like I'm young, and I had never seen Stacy throw before. Like I hadn't seen her bowl before, so seeing her throw and make that cut, I was like, holy crap! Like Stacy can bowl, right? Like
on
not that I had
Friday.
any doubt, but like
Fridays.
Only on Fridays.
I had never, and like Rhonda, I don't think I've ever seen Rhonda bowl before. So it was a different, even just as a spectator, it was so amazing to see how like encouraging all the ladies were, and I'm already excited to come back next year.
Awesome.
So do you have any advice for some of the actual up and comers, not the you guys up and comers, but the next ones? What's your advice for the next ones?
ooh, that's a good question. I think at the end of the day, all it comes down to, no matter what tournament you're playing, is focusing on your own game. And like, I know it's easier said than done, especially when you haven't had the experience to not be able to like score watch and things like that. But at the end of the day, you just need to trust your abilities and trust your own shot, and what everyone else is doing at that point is really irrelevant. And that's something that I've really had to learn, is that I can't control what everyone else is doing, but I can control like how I put the pressure on that person, right?
the way the pressure. You're never going to learn the way the pressure hits you until you're in those pressure situations. So I think, personally with myself, I think I started playing WCBT events when I was 16, 17. And I didn't make my first cut until TPC of this past season.
Right.
I didn't know what the pressure was going to be like. I didn't know what to expect at all going into that last game. And you're never going to know that kind of pressure situation until you're in that pressure situation.
Right.
So just do it. Just do it. If you're scared, just do it.
For
Because
sure.
you never know what can happen until.
It's it's so true. When I came out of YBC, I never made my first open zone team for 9 years. 9 years I did not make an open zone team.
Wow.
But then once I did,
Buckle up.
Right?
it took me a long time to learn. But
Yeah, I mean,
it's such good advice, ladies. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I made that TPC cut, and then I made the Regina Classic, and it was, you never know. You
Yes.
never know.
It's true.
Well, congratulations on your win at doubles, and Alyssa, congratulations on second place. Incredible tournament all around.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you guys and what's next to come. I know both of you masters.
Yeah.
Josie's
Yeah.
Masters singles, and I am on the Manitoba ladies team.
That's right.
luck
So
you
I will
two.
see you both in Newfoundland, which is exciting. One more
Very-
week.
Yes, we will meet you on George Street, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be there.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Oh, well,
Enjoy the rest of your birthday, Alyssa.
Yes, thank you so much, ladies.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see you guys soon.
I just
Okay,
good luck,
so-
guys.
Bye, everyone.
See you. Bye.
The final wrap up.
There we go.
Final wrap up. So first of all, Stacy, just want to thank you for all your hard work, for the Diamond Lady, the vision, the little green piece of paper, the powder puffs, pamphlet. Nobody knows what that is, but you and I know what that is.
Right.
And that you took the vision and you went with it. There was a lot of hard times, obviously, but then a lot of amazing moments to offset it. And honestly, it was a stunning event. And we just want to thank you for that and congratulate you on the success of the event.
Thank you. I think if I could say one thing about the whole thing is that when we first started talking about this, it was basically like, how can we give more experience to these women? And we want to include the POA. And it was so important for me to include the POA because of my best friend Charlotte. And they just don't have the events that we get to play in. And the amount of feedback I got from them made it so worthwhile. And like some of these ladies were messaging me saying like, we were so intimidated to even think about walking into a bowling alley, let alone bowl in a lane draw with you guys, right? And we watch you guys, like Charlotte said in the announcement, like she watches us on TV, and we're like famous people for them. And then they were like, oh my God, you guys are like so nice and normal, which I thought was hilarious because I think that everybody probably thinks that about one person or another anyways. But it worked out, and then seeing the final 16s and seeing that 10 people have never made a cut before made the cut, like it just worked out. Everything worked out so perfectly that it's a lot of pressure for me to put it on this well next year. But I will.
I was just going to say too, it's so awesome to see these players that came out that thought that maybe they were going to compete as POA players, and they put their money into both sides and ended up either making money on both sides or making money on the scratch side where they might not have expected, and like just being able to prove that like they do belong at cash tournaments, they do belong at competitive atmospheres, they do have the drive and the ability, and it doesn't matter what your average is. There was so many people that came out that played significantly higher than their average and that came and shot personal bests or came and shot things that they weren't expecting to be able to put on the lane in a tournament setting like that. So it was just so nice to see all ability levels come together, and then also like over exceed what their expectations were, right? Which was really nice.
But I think that was the environment that we were in.
Yeah.
It was just a very positive environment, and I guess like you had to really be there to see it. And we'll just call it the Purple Haze Race, because you really had to be there to actually see. My dad's been around bowling for a long time, and he was like, this event was amazing.
Yeah.
Like amazing for every single person that was in the building. We just all sweated out together. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, we did.
We did. Oh, did we ever?
All good. Date change for next year, Stace? Any thoughts around where's your head around that?
What did we say, the 19th, 20th, 18th, 19th, 20th, around there in April. Hopefully, like there's no calendars out for us yet.
Yeah.
Generally, that's a quieter time. I know it's not I don't think it interferes with the Open because Easter's early, Masters is later, and any YBC events, because that's kind of my other role, is that's later as well. So really for locally, Green and Gold would probably be the weekend after.
Yeah.
Usually it's the last week of April, yeah.
You know, I think it'll be okay. I just don't know. I think if we claim it first, we own it. So we're going to go for that weekend
Dibs.
right now.
Yeah.
Sorry to put you on the spot there. Katie, good luck in Masters. Have a fabulous week. We'll be watching from Alberta and cheering you on. And good luck, everyone who's competing in Newfoundland. We wish you just a wonderful time. Lots of fun, extra fun on George
much
Street.
fun.
Yeah, and then Next Ladies podcast is going to be July 19th. So we look forward to seeing you then.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies.
All right, ladies.
Okay,
Thanks so
thank you.
much, and enjoy your night.
Sounds good. Thank you.